Welcome, traveler. I'm your host, Big J, and I travel the realm collecting stories of local legends to share with the world. The question is, could you be one of them? This is Legends of the Realm.
What's going on, everybody? My name is Dion Brinkley. I am the owner and operator of Duvalls Barbershop, and this is Legends of the Realm.
How we doing, Dion? Thanks for
doing good.
being here today, man. I'm really excited to have a chat with you. I just moved to Lynchburg, in February, and I was kind of looking around for, a barbershop, that kind of thing, and everybody seemed to be like appointment based.
Right.
And I don't know what it is. It's hard for me to make an appointment. I kind of just feel like when my hair is at that point, I'm like, I need it cut, and I need it cut now. I'm ready to get it cut. I need to get in somewhere and get it cut. And most places are, we need an appointment, so we got nothing available today. So that's kind of how I ended up at your shop, and that's how I ended up meeting you.
Right. Yeah. And that's how that happened because of COVID. COVID changed a lot of ways that barbers do appointments, and it made it so that it made it more convenient for us. But I don't feel as a barber, my dad was a barber. He was a traditional barber. And I don't think as a barber we should take the aspect of walk-ins away. That's just my opinion. Like you said, everybody can't stick to an appointment. Some people just need to walk in, just like how barbershops used to be. So when I adapted our format of how we want to do the barbershop, it was, we're always going to be walk-ins. We can take appointments. If you want to book an appointment, cool. We can accommodate that, but I'll never take the walk-in aspect away from the barbershop.
I think that's an important aspect of the barbershop for a lot of people, like you said, that just kind of want to walk in and get their appointments made. So kind of take us through what got you to start Duvall's Barbershop.
Well, actually, Duvall was my dad.
Okay.
Duvall Abbott. He's been a barber was a barber longer than me. I'm 44 now. He did it all my life. He did it before I got here. I was born in 81. He was doing it before then. I don't know when it started because he wasn't good on keeping up with dates. But he did it all my life growing up, and I never had an interest in cutting hair. I never had an interest in being a barber. I never had an interest of anything in the business, and it killed him. He wanted one of his sons to be a barber, obviously, take over his legacy. And it was just never something of interest to me. I did everything else. I went to the military. I was Air Force for 10 and a half years.
Oh, wow.
Ended up being a dog handler while I was in there.
That's
got
cool.
out, played football, semi-pro football. Everything but barbering. Nothing along my path led me to where I'm at now with barbering. Because I went from football went back to school for graphic design, went back to did security some more, bouncing around Lynchburg. And then for whatever reason, one day I was just looking around and I was like, let me see if I'll like cutting hair. And it was the most random thing. So I went up to Savon Malul. It was in the mall. It's over on Candler's Mountain now.
Okay.
And I went in and just talked to him to see what the process was. And it was a pretty simple process, financial aid, this, that, and the third. And so I went there, applied, and I was like, okay, this will be a good surprise for my dad when I graduate. Like, hey, I need you to come to this place at this time, and it'll be my graduation.
That's pretty cool.
So I signed up for it. Had my start date November 15th, 2022 was when I started. He got sick 2 weeks later that same month and ended up passing on Thanksgiving Day that same month.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, I appreciate it. He had 3 strokes before this.
Wow.
And he fought through all of that. Like he lost use of his right arm, which is what he cut with, and taught himself how to cut with his left arm.
That's impressive.
That's how good he was.
Yeah, that's impressive.
I could not do that. I'm telling you now, this hand is useless. This hand is for nothing.
I kind of feel that way about my left hand sometimes.
Yeah, it's for nothing.
When I'm typing on the computer, this hand's doing great, and this hand's over here like one finger at a time.
Yeah, and he taught himself how to cut hair, and which is something otherworldly. But that's just how good he was. And but when he got sick and he was in the hospital, I did get to tell him that I was taking over. So I redesigned our logo. I did a whole new business model, remodeled the barbershop because it was just his chair in there.
Right.
I retired his chair, remodeled the barbershop. Now I have me and 2 other guys in there, and we're a full-time barbershop.
That's awesome.
So
that's really awesome.
Yeah, that's what led me here. Like nothing I was doing before was coming to barbering, but this is what I love doing. I love it.
Life has a weird way of doing that to you, man.
Yes.
You start off in one direction thinking you're going this way, and before you know it, you're on a totally different path.
Exactly.
But, I think God directs us in the way we're supposed to go. So
he absolutely does.
That's awesome.
We can fight it all we want, but it'll end up where it's supposed to be at.
So when you started out, what was your first setup like?
My first setup was as far as my tools, or
as far as your tools and like getting into the game. What was your first setup?
My first setup was a basic our toolkit we get in school, which was a very basic learner's kit.
Gotcha.
And the purpose of it is to learn how to use the tools before you get fancy, because clippers and trimmers can get from $15 trimmers to $400.
Oh wow.
$500, $600. Like it ranges, and it goes with motor speed and performance and blades and blades,
like
and it's so much stuff that goes into it. And this starter set just gives you how to get your technique down, how to get your how to get the process of how you're going to do each haircut without having to worry about what I'm using. You learn about that later. But that was my initial setup. It was a cheap pair of clippers, cheap pair of trimmers, combs, brushes, just the basic stuff you need, and you build your kit from that.
I gotcha. What was the hardest part for you starting out? I mean, obviously you got a little bit of a jump start with the shop already being open, your dad's legacy, and that kind of a thing. But what was the hardest part for you transitioning into ownership right out of the gate after finishing your barbering?
That was the hardest part. From not ever running a business to not only having to learn how to run a business, but learn how to be a barber, and also have to learn how to be somewhat near his level, because I'm Duvall's son.
Right.
He has a legacy already in Madison Heights.
Big shoes to fill.
Exactly. And going from not cutting hair at all, never picking up clippers, to having to learn how to run a business and learn how to be a barber was probably the hardest thing I've ever done. I'm still learning business stuff. I'm still learning barbering stuff. I got really lucky with the 2 guys I have in there now. They're longtime barbers. They're older than me, and I'm still learning from both of them. From Todd and Kenji, I'm learning from both of them every day. And I'm really fortunate, and it was a blessing that things fell into play the way they did.
Yeah, it's amazing how that stuff works out. Was there ever a time, maybe recently or maybe when you first started, where you thought maybe this wasn't going to work out for you, like maybe you needed to quit and do something else?
I didn't have that option, and I always thought of it that way.
Right.
The thing that people want to know, this is a wonderful industry to get involved in. This is a wonderful trade to have under your belt. If you want to make some money, become a barber.
Okay.
But the flip side to that is, it's hard, because you have to build clientele. You have to get the word out. You have to market yourself. You have to show a certain image. You have to be professional. It's all these things that you have to build on, that one thing comes out and it can knock it all down. And the hardest thing is, because there are going to be days where you're sitting in the barbershop all day and nobody walks through that door.
Right.
And you have to keep doing it, consistency. When people see that you're there, people will come.
Right.
But that's the hardest part, is the consistency and being there in those long days where you're just sitting in the shop, twiddling your thumbs, and nothing's coming through that door. It could be days at a time. You get one customer for the week, but it's a part of the process.
Is there more to being a barber than just cutting hair?
Yes. You have to be a certain type of individual. You have to be someone who is not easily deterred or likened to quit. This is not an industry for the weak. It will weed out if you're just here because you saw it on YouTube. Now, don't get me wrong. The barbers on YouTube, they are doing amazing. I've learned a lot from watching YouTube videos, stuff I didn't know. I would go on and research more on YouTube to find out what more I could learn. But you have to realize they went through the process as well. They didn't start off charging $70, $80, $90, $100, $200 for a haircut.
Right.
They started $15, $20, $25. They started down there and worked their way up. And that comes from consistency, putting out good work, producing good work, being consistent, being professional, being someone wants to talk to.
Right.
One of the biggest things that I see that is missed is people don't know how to talk to people these days. Everyone's in their phone, everyone's on social media, and that's fine. If that's what you like, that's fine. I'm on social media myself.
Right.
But I also know how to hold a conversation. And that's a big part of dealing with clients. No one wants to go sit in someone's chair if they feel like they're in the way or they're bothering you. If you came and sat in my chair and it was like, oh, I got to cut hair, blah, 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 you're not coming back to me because it's like, I'm not, first of all, his attitude sucks, and I don't want to feel like I'm bothering somebody, so I'll find somebody else to go to, and that's a big part of it. People don't understand that. You have to know how to communicate and connect with your customers and clients, like on a human level, because everybody is going through their own thing, everybody's going through their own struggle, and this is just how the life is.
Right. I know for a lot of people growing up, the barbershop was like a staple of the community center. You know, people would come in and not, like you said, not just, come in for the haircut, but they're coming to talk and share things about their life. And so you're almost more than just a hair person, like a barber. You're more of like a, psychologist almost sometimes, or a therapist with some of the stuff I'm sure you hear from people, and just they get in there and they get talking and stuff. I've been to several barbershops before where I made the mistake of walking in on Saturday morning and it's packed out. You got people lined around the block waiting to get lined up, and I'm like, oh Lord, I'm about to sit and wait for a minute, and there'll be people in there that are just hanging out. They came in there to hang out. They already got cut. They sit down and chit chat and shoot it for a little while, and it's really great. So what do you think contributes to a good barbershop environment?
The professional environment. You have to set a tone for what kind of barbershop you want. You have to know what kind of environment that you want to put out to people. I don't like weed smells in my barbershop. I don't like profanity and cursing. Some of your clients do curse and that, this, that, and the third, but you have to know who's in your shop at that time.
Right.
If there's kids in the shop, we can't have people cursing.
Absolutely.
If we have older people in the shop, I can't have people cursing and vulgarity and this, that, and the third. And so you have to maintain and be able to, reel that in. And it could be something that's like, hey guys, let's keep the language. Like, watch the language. We got kids in here.
Right.
We got older
Something
people in
simple.
here. Yeah, something simple. It don't have to be, assertive or aggressive, but you have to be able to have those conversations. And people appreciate that. Like, mothers appreciate that when they have their kids in there. Like, people, and they'll come back to that because they know that this is an environment my kid is safe in. Or older person will come and be like, okay, I'm good here. Because they don't like a lot of noise. They don't like a lot of hooting and hollering. But sometimes it gets like that. We talk about sports and talking about this, that, and the third. It gets elevated.
Right.
It's been times
people get passionate about sports.
Yeah. It's been times in there. If you walked in, you'd swear we were about to fight. But it's nothing. It's nothing. It's nothing. It's just us yelling back and forth. And
passionate opinions.
That's all it is. And ain't nothing gonna happen after that.
Passionate
that's
opinions.
all it is. Yeah, we're just having a good time.
What do you think something is that people misunderstand about barbershop culture?
I don't think that I think people pretty much know what to expect when you walk in a barbershop. I don't think there's any misunderstandings about it. I would say from a barber coming in, I would say a misunderstanding is it's quick, easy money. It can be, but then going back to what I said earlier, you have to have that rapport, you have to have that clientele, you have to build that. You have to create that for yourself, and nobody's going to do it for you.
Right.
So it's kind of a sink or swim type situation. Are you the type of person to go out and like, hey, here's my business card, or here's my QR code, or here's whatever, and market yourself? You go up to somebody in Walmart and be like, do you have a barber? If not, I would love to have the opportunity to cut your hair, give stuff out, learn how to talk to people.
Takes those awkward interactions,
yeah, and it goes a long way because people aren't expecting that. But that's the part that people don't really understand is how to build that clientele and how to build a business. Like it's not easy. It's not. I would never sit here and tell you that it is, because it's very difficult.
Right.
But it's worth it.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think there's a trend with like TikTok and social media where people get on there and go, oh, you know, I'm making X amount of dollars, like you said, on YouTube, or I'm making X amount of dollars cutting hair and like this, that, and the other, and I'm charging $200, but nobody ever sees he went to barber school for a year, and then he, you know, did those $15 haircuts for another year, and then, you know, he had to get into scrimp and save to get into a shop, and then he got into a better shop, and then somebody recognized his talent and got him in front of somebody, and then, you know, then he's where he is. But people don't see that; they just kind of glorify the quick hustle.
Yeah, yeah.
How do you think the community has changed over the years?
The community has, from what I've seen, is a lot more integrated, which I love. We cut all hair types. Everybody, black, white, Asian, Latino, everybody comes through those doors, and I love it. I love it. I love that everybody feels comfortable enough to come into my barbershop. And before, like, you know, back in when my dad was coming up, it was very segregated barbershops.
Right.
Like you would go to certain barbershops and there'll be all white guys, all black guys. This is a black barbershop.
We cut white hair, we cut black hair.
Exactly. It's so important to be versatile as a barber. And because anybody can walk through your door and you have to be able to pull off that haircut.
Right.
You know, you're expected to be the expert. And I think it's changed because it didn't used to be like that. You would cut one haircut the majority of the time you in there. You might get a curveball every now and then, but for the most part, you're doing fades or you're doing evens. But now it's pompadours, it's burst fades, it's faux hawks.
A lot more going on.
A lot more going on, and you know, getting nice with the clippers and also with the shears. It's just the more tools you have, and I think that the industry has changed because it didn't used to be that. You didn't have to learn all that to be successful, but now it's kind of necessary if you want to succeed.
Yeah, I understand that. Do you think customers come to you more for the conversation or the haircut?
They come to you for how you treat them. When I first got in the barbershop, I know it's people that I jacked up. But I have a personality where I can talk to people. I can get people to open up. I can have a conversation. And people have stuck with me as I've gotten better. Like I can name a couple off the top of my head that have stuck with me when they had no business coming back. Like I really messed them up in the beginning, but they stuck with me through the process, and you know, now we're here.
That's awesome.
So yeah,
that's loyalty right there.
Yeah. And if you treat people right, that's what you'll get in return. You know, so it's not all about I cut your hair, you give me money. It's a relationship. It's a clientele. It's a family. You know. I can name most of my clients on first name basis. Most of them have my number. So that's really what it's about.
That's really great. Do you think convenience is becoming overrated in the sense that everything's all about Ubers and people doing stuff for you? Like we have Grubhub and they can come and get your food and deliver it to your house without you ever having to leave your house. So do you think that's causing a shift in the situation at all? Like, do you think people will start getting their haircuts at home? Like you'll have more traveling barbers, or?
I'm seeing a lot of mobile barbershops popping up. I think it's just an evolution of what we do. If you make stuff more convenient for people, they're going to utilize it. It's going to cost more,
right?
But it's something that we're just evolving to. It's just what's going to happen. Convenience is key. Convenience is what people love. If it's convenient and I can do it quick and easy, then I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna have to pay for it, but if I can get it to come to my house, cool. And I travel as well. Like I have a couple of clients up in Amherst at the nursing home that I go to every Thursday. They can't come out, And so I'll go to them and cut hair. Like I'll go to someone's house and cut hair. We would charge traveling fees and, you know.
Right. Gas is high right now.
Oh my God. High ain't the word. But it's all the same. It's the same presentation. It's the same steps and procedures. It's all the same. Cleanliness, making sure you have all your tools, make sure you're professional. Mm-hmm. And it's all the same thing. But what I think you miss from that is the community. You miss the bonding. You miss the barbershop is like a guy's venting place. We have women that come in and get their haircut too, but it's majority men. Mm-hmm. And that's where you come to, oh, my girl this and my girl did this. Well, what did you do? You know,
right.
You know, how did you mess up?
Right.
What'd you do?
What'd you do to have it coming? Right.
Yeah. I mean, maybe you ain't looking at it from this angle, and you miss that when you stay in the house. I think it's very important to have human interactions because people don't talk anymore.
Right.
You know, people don't have conversations anymore. People can't hold conversations anymore, and the barbershop helps with that. So, to answer your question, I think that convenience is just the evolution of what we're going to, but don't stop going out and going to the barbershop. Not just the barbershop, just going out, period, and interacting with people. It can't hurt.
Well, I think the convenience portion has really started to, I guess, convenience is great, but in a sense, it's also damaging those local community spots because those smaller local businesses that have been supporting the community over years, those mom and pops, they can't keep up anymore.
Yeah.
Because people aren't coming by to shop in the store. They're not out walking around downtown looking at different shops and going in and out and doing stuff like that anymore. Everybody orders everything online. You know, if they can get it delivered to the house, and I kind of understand that, the convenience portion of it, but I think that that's causing that other issue.
And I can agree with that, but you also have the people who are going to go out no matter what. I think that we're always just going to have those type of people.
It's people who can't sit at the house.
Right. It's people who are introverts, people who are extroverts, and it's just the way things are. Convenience just makes it more, more convenient, not to use the same word twice, but for them. The ones that, get awkward and have anxiety and things like that. Like, those things have to be taken into account too. But I think that those who are going to come out are going to come out. Those who want to go to the barbershop are going to go to the barbershop. Those who want to go to the store are going to go to the store. So, I mean, I'm guilty too. I use Walmart delivery probably more than anybody I know. I love it. But it's I love convenience, but the prices are getting crazy. So it's eventually going to turn back into you have to go to the store because it's just out of control. Yeah.
What's some advice you would give somebody if they're interested in becoming a barber and they really feel like they're wanting to be passionate about it and get into it? What advice would you give somebody just starting out?
Do your research. Be able to sustain yourself as you're going through the process, because at first there is no money in it. At first there's no money in it while you're learning, while I was in school. Again, I was lucky enough to have a guy had kept the barbershop open and was cutting hair in there while I was in school, because I was in school during the day and those are the barbershop hours. Right. So I had a guy that he's still in there with me now, Todd. He kept the shop open. So do your research. Know what you're able to afford as far as booth rent, as far as commission, as far as renting a suite, as far as a chair, all the equipment that you will need. Because when you step out, everybody wants to work for themselves. Everybody wants to be a boss. Everybody wants to be in charge until it's time to be in charge.
Right. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. Exactly.
So you don't realize that there is no, let me call somebody to get this fixed. No, that's on you. You're in charge. If there's no toilet paper in the bathroom, that's on you. If there's no cleaning supplies, that's on you. Right. All that stuff it comes out of your pocket. Like, all that stuff is stuff that you have to account for. Your tools, your clippers, your trimmers. Do you have a backup set? Do you have spray? Do you have antiseptic? Do you have stuff to spray the client off with? Right. Do you have all this stuff? And can you replenish all this stuff? Because it goes. Right. When you use it, it goes. Neck strips. all the little things that people don't think about. It's very important,
Right.
and it can make or break your business. Because if I come to you and I don't have all my stuff and I just look unorganized, it's likely you're gonna call me back.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's very important to do your research. Know what you're going to need. Know what you're going to need to learn. Be willing to go through that. Be
Right.
willing to put up with that, because, like I stated earlier, there are a lot of lonely days.
Yep.
There are a lot of days where you just sitting
Feast
around
or famine.
you're sitting around in the barbershop. There are days it's going to boom.
Mm-hmm.
We still have the days where it's like, we
Busy
should,
from start to
we should
finish.
close early.
Yeah.
That busy from start to finish, or we sitting like, I need to close early, but you can't. Because
Right.
I've had situations. This happened 2 days in a row, where we were open all day long. I stayed all day long. I was there. I'm closing up. I close up at 7. I'm going to turn the sign off if somebody walks in, and I had to get them.
Right.
I had to get them. So it's days like that where, and it's the consistency thing. Are you open until 7 o'clock, or are you open until 6:55?
Yeah, I've been to a few barbershops before where like I looked them up and I drove by and the hours were open, but nobody was there and the lights were off, and you come when you're supposed to be there and they're not there, so you end up going and finding somebody else and then move on down the line.
It's not consistent.
Yeah.
And that's what it's about, consistency. If people can't depend on you, they will move on. Like, you're not the only game in town. It's enough for everybody to, be successful, but you have to want to be successful.
So would you say that consistency is the key to being alive long term as a business?
Key. Like probably the most vital. Consistency and professionalism. I think those are the two main things.
Right. And like you said, if you wanted to get involved and start your own shop or something like that, you got to be the barber, you got to be the logistics manager, you got to do inventory, you got to be the marketing guy, you got to be the social media manager, all that stuff.
All of it.
It's a lot harder than people think.
All of it. Yep. Absolutely.
Anybody can just go out and start an LLC. It costs you a couple $100, and all of a sudden you got a company.
But now what?
Right. But now what? That's the next big step most people miss.
Do you know about taxes? Do you know if you're filing a sole proprietorship? Are you an LLC? Are you C Corp? Like it's different things to the game, and you have to know every stone. You have to know every aspect of your business to be successful. You can't slack on any of it.
What would you say is the thing you're most proud about in this journey?
Continuing what my dad started. That's probably the most, like, I have him, this is who's on here, I
continuing that legacy.
Yeah, continuing his legacy, and I've been told many times he would have been proud, and that's all that I really care about. I love what I do. Mm-hmm. I love cutting hair. I love meeting people. I love talking to people, learning different people's stories. Everybody has been through something. Mm-hmm. Everybody's going through something. Everybody is dealing with something. So, if you're going through something, just know that somebody would kill to be in your position. It's worse situations out there, but learning people's stories and getting to know people on a human level, it's awesome, man. It's awesome.
What legacy do you want to see the shop leave behind? Beyond you?
A legacy of family, a legacy of community, something my kids can continue, something that, I want to grow, open a second, third shop. I just want it to be, when you think of Duvalls Barbershop and you think of Dion, he was a quality dude. You know what I'm saying? He was a guy that he took care of you.
And so that's kind of what you hope people remember about you personally, is that he was a quality dude, a stand-up guy.
Yeah. And that's all I really hope for. I just hope that I treated people good.
Yeah, I always thought that like the ultimate goal for me, the ultimate success for me, obviously I would be dead at that point and I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
But like always seeing like people who in the community when they passed away and they had just like the church was packed out with people. They're like, that dude helped me in my time of need. That dude was a good dude. I miss him.
Yeah.
That's how I know I'll have made it in life is, like I said, obviously I'll be dead, so I won't know. But like in my brain, that's what have made it for me would be So, and you said, so what's next for you in the shop? You said you got expansion ideas.
Yeah. I wanna expand. We're gonna go through a remodel here next month. We're getting the floors done, and I plan on doing some remodeling in the shop we're in now. But I'm also looking at other locations.
Okay.
We're in Madison Heights now. I want to move into Lynchburg. I want to put one in Amherst. The surrounding areas. I want to make it more accessible to people who want to experience Duvalls Barbershop, and I want the same aesthetic in each one.
I got
the same vibe in each shop.
So just in curiosity, when I was looking for a barbershop, there was a ton of options in Lynchburg and the surrounding areas. So what do you feel kind of separates you from all the other barbershops in town?
It's honestly, it's the walk-in aspect. It really is.
I know that's a fact.
Yeah. It's really the walk-in aspect. We're not doing anything no other barbershop is doing, except, we stay professional, we're consistent, we allow walk-ins, we take we're so convenient and accessible to people. If you want to get a haircut, we'll get you in. We'll figure it out.
Right.
So it's I think that's what really separates us. And I'm not a shop or barber of ego. There's another barbershop in Madison Heights, Monroe & Co.
Okay.
I'm friends with the owner, Eric. Eric Monroe. He's a real good dude. A dope barber. He a dope barber. Actually, my cousin TK works in the shop with him.
Okay.
And there's another barber in there, Asha, she's fresh out of school, but she's dope as well. I instructed her for a little while. So there is no competition, but I'll go by the shop and hang out in their shop. There is no ego.
That's awesome.
Yeah. There is no ego with us because there's enough for everybody.
Right.
Especially in the area that our two shops are in, there's enough for everybody. Between Madison Heights and Amherst, there's thousands of people.
Right.
So it's really no need for anybody to have an ego about anything, or me to talk down on their shop or gatekeep or anything like that. If we don't have anything available, I'll recommend them. I'll say go see Eric. Go see if they got you walk in over there.
Yeah, that's amazing, man. Because a lot of people are not like that these days. They're quick to trash other businesses and things like that. But I feel like that. What does that say about you? If that's your marketing method, is to be like, they stink. Let me. I'm better.
Right.
Well, how does that really look?
And I think that comes back. Karma is a real thing to me. That's a big thing to me. Is how you treat people will come back to you. If I treat people good, it's going to come back to me. I have no reason to talk down on another barbershop. How is that helping me? How is talking down on someone else's business benefiting my business? It's not. It just makes me sound bitter. It just makes me sound like I'm hating on somebody else, and it's not necessary. It's more than enough for everybody.
All right. Before we go, is there any kind of last minute thing you want to say, or anything you want to tell people out there?
Sure. You can follow the shop. We're on Instagram and Facebook at Duvalls Barbershop VA. That's on Facebook and Instagram. I would love for everybody to follow that. You can follow me. All my socials are at Khalil Creed. That's KALEL CREEDDB, and that's on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, and even on YouTube. I have a channel, The Fortress of Awesometude.
Okay.
And also, I post clips. I'm funny a little bit, so I'll post funny clips of reactions and my haircuts and all that stuff is on there.
I gotcha.
So
is there anything you do outside of the barbershop that, tell us a little bit about just you?
I'm a dad, full-time dad. I have a fiance. We're getting married in September.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I can't wait for this to be over with. This planning a wedding thing is y'all can have it.
I'm sure.
But she wants it, and so we're going through it.
She gets what she wants.
I'm happy to
Smart
be
man.
here. Just tell me what time to be there.
Right.
So, but other than that, I'm a full-time dad. I got my kids, full-time, full custody, 2 girls and a boy. We have an 18-year-old who's in college.
Okay.
He's about to go to Richmond and work up there, and he's about to spread his wings a little bit. I'm proud of him for that.
Awesome.
But other than that, it's just being a dad, and so I get to. I'm in an awesome line of work where I don't miss anything. So I can go to my oldest daughter's in chorus, my youngest daughter is in band, my son plays sports. So I don't have to miss anything. I can still run my business and then be there for them. And that's just as important.
Right.
Is being there at those chorus performances and those band performances, even though they are brutal. But they love to see you there. So I'm going to suffer through it and watch this bad music get played and these bad voices come out of these faces, but she wants me there, they want me there, so I'm going to be there. So
Makes sense.
I love it.
Makes sense.
And I love it.
All right, well, you guys heard it first here on Legends of the Realm, Dion and Duvalls Barbershop. It's been a pleasure speaking with you today, man, and I look forward to the next time I can come in and get a haircut.
Absolutely. I hope this ain't the last time I'm on the show. We can talk about other stuff next time. So
awesome. Every legend has a story. If you feel yours deserves to be told, visit tribusmedia.com and apply to be featured. We'll see you in the realm.